This lesson gives you a quick review of what you learned last year about the slope of lines. You can think of slope as how tilted your line is. Remember how if you have a given graph of a line, you can find the slope or how tilted the line is using the formula rise over run, where rise refers to how far up or down the distances between 2 points on the line, and run refers to how far right you'd move between those 2 points on the line. So step one is finding two whole number points on the line. For example, this is a point you could use, but this is not because this is between 0 and 1 on the x-axis. And this is not because it's also between 0 and 1. But this is a whole number point. You could use this as your next point. Identify those 2 points and count the rise over run. So the run refers to how far up or down you have to travel between those 2 points. Run refers to how far right. Between those 2 points on the line, you have to travel 3 down, so -3. 1, 2, 3 jumps. And then you'd have to travel 1 jump right. So the rise is -3, the run is 1. Check to see if your slope fraction simplifies. If it does, you have the simplifying step, and that is your final answer. The slope of this line is -3. So your job is to use the rise over run formula to calculate the slope for question 2. First, you could identify 2 points in line. It doesn't really matter which two. You could use these two, or you could use these two. Either way, you should get actually the same answer because for both of them, the run is 4 and the rise is 1. It's going right 4 and up 1. Because it's going up, when you read your line left to right, it has a positive slope instead of negative. The rise number goes on top, the run number goes underneath. That doesn't simplify, so your final answer is that the slope is 1 over 4. Sometimes you need to find the slope, but you are not given a graph. You're just given 2 points on the line. When that happens, you're using this formula for slope, where m stands for slope. M equals y2 minus y1 over x2 minus x1. So you label in each point the x and y, and you give little subscripts of 1 if it's in the first point, and 2 if it's in the second point. And you plug it all in. y2 minus y1 would be -3 minus 9. x2 minus x1 would be 6 minus 4. And then you simplify each part of the fraction. -3 minus 9 is -12. 6 minus 2 is 4. That actually simplifies to a whole number, so you can figure out that the slope of the line between those 2 points is -3. Solve question 4. Find the slope. When you plug in your x1 and y1, x2 and y2, it should look like this. Notice how you have a double negative, 7 minus a -2 when you do y2 minus y1. Double negatives become a plus, so that becomes 7 plus 2, or 9. Under the fraction, you've got -4 minus 3, that becomes -7. Now, remember, fraction bars really mean dividing. If you have a positive number divided by a negative number, that gets you a negative answer. So you just pull the negative out in front to say your answer as an entire fraction is negative. -9 over 7 is the slope of your line. Find the slope of both lines in the picture at the right. What is the slope of the top line? For the top line, if you choose any 2 points, whether it's this point and this point, or maybe even this point and this point, you're going to notice that it's going up 3, it's a rise of 3 and a run of 2. So the slope is 3 over 2, and you have a matching slope for the other line. The fact that these two lines have identical slopes actually tells you something you may have suspected from the picture. These two lines are parallel. Parallel lines are lines that never intersect each other because they have the same slope. And the idea of parallel is going to be key to chapter 3.